did that thing. Wait.
You're old.
We're not waiting for that.
Nah.
We don't give people time today. What you know?
Let it snow. Let it snow. Hey, Jesse Paris.
Let it snow.
Let it snow. Let it snow.
How you doing? Yeah, we're on.
Another Christmas
holiday. Yeah, this is some good ones.
Hey.
What up?
Hey, be back in the house. Man, you know I had surgery. I had surgery in the snow.
In the snow?
Man, I was in the snow,
In the snow?
They took me outside. They couldn't get enough knockout medicine on me.
Bastards, so they just put you in the snow?
Took me in the snow.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Welcome to another Friday. You're into the Free Think Zone. It's your girl Shay B and John Bizzle in the building.
Wait a second, you're Shay B now?
Hey.
Who am I? Who am I?
She must have got married. She must have got married.
She changed her name already.
She got married.
She changed her name Shay B.
Wait. I know, guys. That's hilarious.
She got married.
I don't know who he is. That means you might be the winner, sir. No. So my middle initials B in real life.
Oh,
so that's where it came from.
Shay B. Johnson.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking to.
You doesn't have to call me Johnson.
Right. Y'all got to call me Miss Johnson to you.
You're too young for that. You're too young for that, right?
I ain't never heard her say B before. Her name's always been B, but I ain't never heard her say.
But like, she's too young to know. You doesn't have to call me.
Prophesy is what she
You
does.
doesn't have to call me Jay.
Well, y'all are good.
She prophesied.
Prophesied.
Well, who is the last name B? Please present yourself. Come to the front of the room. Wherever you are. We need you to drop your headshots. We need you to go ahead and send an email in.
And we need
serious
it. Well, no, we're going to vet you. We're going to vet you.
Oh, yeah.
That's
the beginning process.
Here's what we need. First of all, you need a job. J-O-B.
J-O-B.
You need a bank account.
With money in it.
You need your own car. You need your own. Yeah, can't have a looking for that extra balance that they throw over there.
Yeah,
That's what they call that extra money that they throw it in and then they charge you $40. You can't live at your mama's house.
That's right.
You gotta have
if you're paying the bills at your mom's house. Because you're in the high income city and your mom needs to help or you whatever.
That's a sketchy one.
But you're ready to move out.
You're ready
at
to
any
move
moment.
And you gotta have and what else you gotta have? So it's your job, bank account, car, not living at home, and
you gotta have some purpose, some vision. What you doing with your life? I need to know where you're going, brother. That part. That's from her. So I was just giving you the Tiffany Haddish stuff. You need to go ahead and hit the trigger alert. I feel like we're already triggering people.
I know, because we need 7 donations. After what went on in this city this past week, with a talk show host asking for a school shooting, we need the trigger alert now more than ever. This is a show that triggers people because you've entered a free think zone. FTZ. If you're not willing to be exposed to other people's views and points of views, tune out now. Don't read any of them comments because you have been warned. You've been warned. 7 donations.
We need you to go to brotherjeff.com right now. And remember, the best nation is donation. So any amount we are accepting. But we're powered by the people, so we need you people to do your part.
Power.
That part.
And see, we have been asked.
Now you just need 6.
Whoa!
Hey!
Jesse Paris.
Shout out to Jesse Paris for always showing love,
right,
always uplifting the community, and always doing something in the community. Always. Yeah.
We just want to make sure that the freedom of information continues to flow out of the studio. Because that's all we got.
That's it. That's all we got. That's all we got.
There's a couple people doing some things, but ain't nobody doing it like this. We got the new circle light. I don't know if you can tell, but look at it.
They don't know. We have a new lighting system in here. So if I start to sweat, it's the lights. Okay? It's the lights. Hello. It's the lights.
You know what happened to me last couple of weeks, Shay J?
A lot's happened to you.
I wasn't here last week.
Was it your hip?
It was my hip. I had a hipiotomy.
Oh, is that a real thing? Or
hipiotomy. I just made it up.
Okay.
It's like a bachiotomy. I had a bachiotomy.
But you had a hip.
I had a hippiotomy.
Okay.
Man, it was hip hop right. Look.
How are you feeling?
3 weeks ago. I'm walking with no cane. Come on now.
Now that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I could have walked up here last week. My wife wouldn't let me out the house.
Smart wife, good wife. That's what wives are for, to make sure you don't take it too far.
I get
it.
Hey, what was Simba's son's name in Lion King?
Real Simba's son?
Simba's son?
You mean Mufasa's son, Simba?
Simba was the son.
Yeah.
So Simba Mustafa was the dad. That's what
Mufasa.
I thought that was an evil uncle.
That was Scar.
That was Scar.
Come on, people.
That was
Scar. Our history.
We're trying to get it. We're trying to get it.
That's my favorite Disney. We need to know about Lion King.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't in no book, so we're just trying to go with it.
Oh,
we're trying to remember.
Okay.
If we don't bring it up every so often, we'll forget.
Right.
What was Simba's girlfriend's name?
Nala.
Missy.
Nala.
See, come on. Missy. Really? Just like a man.
Hey, look. This for you.
This poinsettia?
Omar Montgomery brought that for you.
Thank you. Is it really
That's
live?
from Omar Montgomery.
Oh my God! Thank you. Shout out to my guy. I thought y'all were joking. You know they play so much in here. Shout out to my guy Omar Montgomery, a true champion of the people and a stand-up man. So I appreciate this. And shout out Regina because I'm sure you picked it out. So I appreciate you.
Wow. You don't clown on Omar.
No, it's just because he has a good helpmate. When you have a good helpmate, they help you make the right decision.
That's a good way to come out of that.
There we go. You know,
that was a good way to come out.
No, that was a good way to go in and come out. Okay, I'm classically trained.
The thing about poinsettias, they're red, black, and green.
They are. And they got some pale ones. They got some pale ones.
I would never get a pale one. You see this one? I got the rich one. It's rich and fulfilled. And it has gold wrapping. This is all great.
I think they got a little. I don't think you're supposed to let your pets get to them though, like cats and stuff like that.
Well, I don't have any pets.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I don't have any pets.
Hey, let me ask you
I don't believe in pets except for fish. I'm not into all that. Like if it's not a fish.
You travel a lot, right?
Exactly.
What's the first thing you do when you go in a hotel room?
Get that Gideon's Bible.
That is so ridiculous. Who let him in here? The first thing I do is check the bathroom.
For a man or for people being in there?
No, for towels. I don't know why. Towels are my thing. I always want more towels. Like, I'm always that person who's like, can you give me some more towels? Immediately. It doesn't matter what's going on. So I check the bathroom, and then I check the sheets, because I'm, like, weird about germs.
I'm weird about that. I'm nervous. They say that top covering, not the sheet, but that top covering
is the dirtiest thing.
Dirty.
I can see that.
It's like I've seen that when they pull the tray down on the airplane.
Yeah.
That tray is dirty. You always got to take your little wipes.
And that's why I have to go to the new places where everything's white. Because if I can't see, then we have a problem. I need to all be white stuff and clarity of like.
Okay, let me just throw this one on you.
I'm nervous.
30% of all hotel remotes have semen on them. Don't touch that dial. That's all I can tell you.
Way to ruin life. Man. Like, can the person live anymore?
Semen.
Like on the remote. So people, what he's telling you is, don't use that remote without a Clorox wipe. Get your Clorox wipe.
Exactly.
Wipe off your remote before you turn on that TV.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that. I'm so glad I don't really watch TV when I'm in the hotel.
Well, I will admit.
Obviously, some folks is watching that one channel.
Yeah, that's usually what a hotel's for. Hey,
hotel, motel,
holiday. No, that I believe that though. Because they probably don't wipe it off that much and all that. And when you think about when they came through, I used to work at Embassy Suites, and I was a food and beverage director there. And so I would see a lot of the things. When you're talking about a fast cleanup, it's never like clean the remote, no, that doesn't really come into mind. No. Yeah, get your Clorox wipes, people. We're trying to save you.
Well, I mentioned in that opening. This is a tough day around here for radio talk show hosts.
For everybody.
Yeah, a couple of friends of mine too. I know Chuck and Julie. What happened? Julie Hayden and I used to work together over at Fox, right? Back in the day.
Not the boot.
Back in the day. So they're on the radio on, what is today? Friday? They're on the radio Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So the hearings from Washington had been on nonstop, every channel, all day long, blah, blah, blah. So they come back from a break at like 1:30 in the afternoon, and Chuck Bonniwell comes on. Let me get it right now. He says, don't you just wish for? This is not me. This is Chuck Bonniwell saying this. We should have this day is so monotonous with all this boring coverage of these hearings and these sham hearings. We should have a good school shooting.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
No, he didn't.
I'm sorry, this is not real life. Please tell me that.
Yes, it is.
Please tell me that we got the wordings mixed up a little bit.
No, it was live. It's on every channel in town's got it on there.
She tried to clean it up.
She tried to say, no, Chuck, don't say that. He didn't mean that. Don't call us. He didn't mean that. Really, he didn't mean that.
at the place where the epitome of school shootings are at a all-time high.
Columbine.
All-time high right now. Right
here.
In Northeast Denver, we've had like at least 6 school shootings.
The last one out here where the
2 weeks.
Castillo kid got shot and killed. I mean, they came in the next day. This is Salem Media. This is a Christian broadcasting station now. They came in the next day. They yanked them off the air.
As they should have.
Both of them?
That's
They were both
utterly
on there
disgusting.
that night.
She didn't say it.
But what did she?
Why did she gotta go?
Yeah, what
They're
happened with
married.
that? Oh, so she
Well,
shared
you
the
gonna
point of
keep
view because
one,
she's married?
you
No.
want-
First of all, if my husband's an idiot, that has nothing to do with me.
She tried to.
He happened to say something.
Okay. All I'm saying.
It would have been Julie and other.
All I'm saying is
Wait a
she
minute.
tried to clean it up and tried to stop him from shattering. But see, he
Right.
does this all the time. This is the
Well, he
same
takes
guy.
it too far.
This is the same guy that publishes that newspaper down in Cherry Creek Chronicle that we get it. Now they're delivering up in Park Hill. But
I got one.
this guy always makes comments that are real. He's totally a rich kid, you know.
Privileged.
What do you call it?
Silver spoon.
Yeah,
Entitled
white
he got one of
person,
he got one of
per
them.
usual.
He got one of them things from
Silver
his parents.
spoon.
Tell us what his apology.
Got the parents.
Yeah, I can't
money
wait
and
to hear
all
about
that.
this apology.
Well, his apology was, I was just trying to make a joke. It was a bad one, but I was just making a joke.
When did ever school shootings become funny? I don't know what part of that
He's
could have
got
been
it.
funny. What
He
was
said,
the punchline?
I guess they didn't
I'm still
understand it
waiting.
was a joke. That was his apology.
Yeah.
I guess they didn't understand it was a joke. Not that I didn't understand that I had an ignorant ass comment, but I guess they didn't understand it was a
And
joke.
here's the thing. Here's the
Put
thing.
some ha-ha behind it.
Here's the thing.
I'm triggered.
Here's the thing.
Well, no, haha.
He went to Julie and asked Julie to marry him because I don't have a namesake. This was the proposal. I don't have a namesake. If you marry me, I'll take care of you for life. So she married him, gave him a baby. 50 years old, had a baby. The kid now is about 7, 8. He's probably in middle school by now. So my question is, which school would you like somebody to go shoot up?
Right. The one that your kid is in? Because how about that?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, while we're talking about school
I'm just asking.
shooting, I just
even
think
know.
that's so insensitive in every form. And I don't know.
Insensitive?
I mean, obviously it's worse than that,
At
but it's
least
just to
insensitive.
come back and say like they didn't understand my joke. It's just a level of I don't even understand that capacity. Of
I don't even
your
understand
brain. Like
that.
where could that even
How
lie?
can you,
And, like,
how can you joke
how?
about killing?
And have a child because
And
sometimes
have a child that age.
I will say like I say some comments sometimes are not the best comments like when
And we all do.
especially because I'm not a parent. So sometimes when I'm like, oh yeah, they're with them kids, and I just say random things, and my friends be like, with kids, be like, that's spoken by somebody without kids. And then I realized that was a little insensitive, it was a little rude. But somebody that has children and that would even make
That
some
don't
type of joke
understand.
and pertaining to where their
It wasn't
kid
no- it wasn't
has
no-
to live and be in school too.
It wasn't no joke.
And what type of sick thought process is that?
It wasn't no joke.
You
And
think
on a mainstream media.
You think he's honestly saying that he wanted that to happen? You don't think that's just a bad joke gone wrong?
I think it was a bad joke going wrong because he's
I
just
don't.
that ignorant and just that dumb. Especially you have a kid at
Well,
school.
Bruce
You
said
don't wanna
that
go
you
shoot
used to
up.
hang out with him, JB. So
Woo.
is he the type of person that would just say no stop?
Come through some receipts in. I see you.
Listen,
Three things on.
No, you got me
Power
wrong.
by the people.
You got me wrong. These boys,
Bruce empowering us.
he's staunch Republican. He's not kind of a Republican. He's staunch. Remember the guy that used to come up here with me, Tim Smith?
Yeah.
Tim hangs out with him.
Oh man.
So you're associate by associate. You're not a direct
Hey,
line.
Bruce don't. Bruce
I
don't-
understand that.
Bruce,
What happens?
Bruce,
He said you don't know what you're talking about.
cousin
Bruce.
Brucey.
But Bruce, if you give us a donation today, you'll keep us going. I'm like,
you tell
you're
me.
powered.
Yeah, since you made that crap up about me, donate right now, mister. 'Cause that ain't even right.
He said he was not my friend. He was my friend and my friend's friend.
Julie has been married to a few police officers during her younger years, so you know I didn't hang out with her. Okay, I'm just saying.
that-
So there's
I
been
just don't
some shootings in
understand how-
Montbello.
Wait a
Yes.
minute. Wait a minute.
There's been a
Wait.
lot.
Yeah, they're talking about shootings. There's been
Shootings
shootings in
nonstop.
Montbello
Did he just
and in town.
Did he just jump? Did he just
Did he
segue
take it too
for
far?
us?
Did he
He
do a
segued
segue?
for us.
He did. We weren't.
We
It's
were-
okay. We have this.
We're ready
We don't
now.
need you to segue. Go ahead. Get him, JB. Go, JB.
So it's like a raw. I was going to go to Nate Meyer. I was going to go to Nate Meyer before we go to the shootings.
But we're talking about shootings already, so we was
Okay,
actually
let's
in
go
the
there
same
then.
realm where we were at.
Because
So it actually made sense.
I wanted to go.
It was right there. We were in the pocket. We were in the pocket.
But I wanted to go to a cop with his gun on and taser on, sitting in traffic in the middle of the street, knocked out, dead ass drunk. He got a taser on and a gun.
Yeah, go there. Go there.
He's sitting there like this in the car.
Done. Like,
They-
what type of drunk is
Look,
that?
they
though?
broke. That's a you're
That's
drunk
a
ass.
real different
that's
level
drunk
of
ass.
drinking.
I haven't been that drunk Since I was about 17.
Like, you still there was a level where you couldn't take it.
And we were playing cards, and you had to drink when you lost.
Right, exactly.
We were playing either Tonk or
You weren't playing Tonk at 17. You was not playing Tonk at 17.
Yeah, we were.
Were you?
That's Chicago.
That's a Midwest man.
Oh, maybe he was.
And we played
Tonk. That's old people's game.
No, we played Tonk in Park Hill. That's how we paid for our lunch. That was lunch.
He said he made Tonk for lunch money. I am done.
Hey,
it's Friday.
You know, everybody out here plays spades, but we used to play.
Yeah, I'm a spades girl.
No, we used to play bid whist.
Bid whist?
Right.
Bid whist was like the, you know,
Seven
the teenage group was bid whist.
That man older than me.
I know, but I'm saying you're bid whist. He's Tonk.
No,
I'm spades.
I'm spades.
That's how you talk about age.
I'm bid whist.
Oh, you're spades?
I'm bid whist.
Spades and Tonk.
Wait, y'all supposed to be bid whist.
Hey, you go to a black college. You
Charles bid whist.
You go to a black school, you'll be bid whist all night.
Gerald's bid whist.
All night. And if you ain't got a good partner who will lie with you,
yeah, that's what it's all about.
hey man,
the partner.
Hey man, we used to, man, I'm telling you, man. But I ain't been that drunk. Look, they use that thing. They got that thing like this, and they hit the window and shattered out the passenger front window. Because they couldn't, the door was like,
that incoherent.
the car was in drive, his foot was on the brake, he's that drunk.
Who was he? Where's this officer at? Where is this?
Sergeant Nate Meyer.
What city?
Aurora.
A-Town.
A-Town. That's what happens when you don't vote for Omar. See what happens
That's
now?
what happens when you got a black police chief that don't want to leave even though he said he quit. Wait, the black police chief that you say is black said he was leaving and he's still there.
Chief Metz?
You talking about Metz?
And you know what he did?
What'd he do?
Well, I talked to Sergeant Meyer, and he says he's totally apologetic, and I'm leaving him on the job.
What?
Okay.
Because we leave people like that on our job to secure our
I'm leaving him
people
on the
and
job.
all
I'm not firing him. What is a fireable offense if
Please
you're
let
a
us
police
know now,
officer?
what is a fireable offense?
You don't get fired when you kill people.
Nope.
You don't get fired when you wound people. When you give them some of that stuff that knocks them out, like they did McLean.
Nope.
What does it take to get fired as a police officer in Aurora? Now, what if somebody?
You have to do something to somebody white. You got to do something really bad to somebody white.
All I know is if you're in your car, if you're a police officer, and he told the man, he told Chief Metz, yeah, I was on duty, yeah, I was drinking. Look, the cops are all around the car, and they're trying to keep all these people back that are doing the videos and stuff.
Right.
And
of course they don't want to show
they all got their body cams on
this time
because they thought he was shot.
Yeah,
they thought he might have been shot or something. You know what I mean? So the one cop walks toward the camera like this, and he said, "He smells like he's really intoxicated."
He was one probably got in trouble. He probably got in trouble. Like, why did you say that out loud? He's one got in trouble.
Oh my God!
That's crazy.
I sent this video and the story around the country to people. They said he didn't get fired. What?
They're so confused.
Look,
as we are, Chief Metz, I have questions.
Hey, look. All I know is in Chicago. I was there in October, and that's when Chief Eddie Johnson of the Juicy Smollett, the French black actor, Juicy. So Eddie screwed that whole case up by going public with all the information. So he's on his way home from a dinner party, he said, and he drank a little bit too much with the medication he had. Now, this is a superintendent of police. This is Chief Metz equivalent.
Yes.
He didn't want his driver that night, so he's got his black SUV, and he's driving. He drives into the curb. Now, he's cocked into the curb, like the curb is here. He's cocked into the curb like this. And in Chicago, they got some tight streets up there.
Right.
So next thing you know, there's 6 police officers, rescue, fire, everybody is there. And they know it's his car. The officers know it's his car. They run the plate right away.
Of course.
And it's an unmarked black, SUV. They wake the chief up. At least he woke up. So he goes and he tells, yeah, it was the medication. I was on some medication.
He told the mayor.
Huh? Yeah,
he told the mayor.
He told everybody first. He told everybody that first. And then he said, then they said, well, where were you? He said, well, I was at this little dinner party. I might have had a couple of drinks. Oh, so you had some drinks and medication. Yeah, and I don't guess they mixed. Now, I was in there in October, the end of October. He was set to retire the end of this month.
Right.
Next week.
That sister retired.
And he would have got his pension as chief of police.
Yeah.
Now he'll go down to commander down here or something down here, very less than what that chief's pension would have been. So what did he do when they got caught? He ordered an investigation of himself.
Smart man. You know what? I'm gonna investigate myself. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna look into this. I'll figure out what's going on.
Hey, this shit would all be funny if it wasn't so true.
If it wasn't so true, this is America.
This is America.
This is America. Speaking about America,
Unbelievable.
Carol Sanchez.
yes, and Mayor Lightfoot, she came out last week and said, "Oh yeah, Eddie, you are fired."
Yes, you did.
She was like Trump.
You're fired. Good job. So, speaking of being fired or false alarms or this is America, let's talk about our 16-year-old Amber Alert.
Go for it.
So, New York City, my other home, there's a 16-year-old girl that you guys know that she got took in the Bronx in New York City. She was taken away with her and her mother walking down the street, which I already felt very ironic because they didn't take the mom, kill the mom or anything. But she was taken from her mom by a group of men in a van and driven away. Of course, it became an Amber Alert. I mean, every single celebrity, everybody was talking about this. They were tweeting it out. They were Instagramming it out. Everybody was on the prowl. They were like, find this young girl. Even the black activist men group that didn't live in the Bronx came out to help find this girl. So this became a huge Amber Alert for this young black teenage girl, only to find out that it was completely staged.
Maybe.
This
Tawana Brawley.
Maybe.
No, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. And this was on the heels. Why this got the attention it got? Because this might not have got any attention at all. Why this got a lot of attention was because that 18-year-old Barnard University student was up in Morningside Park in Central Park and got stabbed up by 3 or 4 kids. Now they want to say that this has all the drapings of the Central Park 5.
Yeah.
Now they got the 13-year-old kid. He said, "I was just there, man. The other kid did the stabbing, and they tried to rob her." And then some other guy came out and talked about, "Well, she was in the park because she was trying to buy some weed." Man, a rich ass girl like that at Barnard College, Seven Sister School, she ain't got to be in no Central Park buying no weed from a couple of 13-year-olds. I just don't.
It doesn't make sense.
Hey, and would you have gone by yourself? They say this is one of the highest. Every Law and Order that you see, when you see that tunnel and those people all get to the bridge and they all get killed right up there, that's Morningside Park.
Yeah.
So if Law and Order already knows,
I used to live right by Morningside Park, so I already know.
If they already know this is a bad neighborhood, why is a single white 18-year-old girl going to go over there in that park and look for weed? Come on.
I don't believe that, sister.
So we'll see. The 16-year-old girl, once they find her safe and unharmed, she says that she staged this because she didn't want to move to Honduras with her mother. Her mother was making her move to Honduras and she didn't want to go. So she admits to staging this whole thing, but they are still going on with the investigation. They have said that they are not stopping this investigation. There might be more to the story, and so they are still investigating this.
Thank you.
It's still an investigation.
I think she was.
What do you think, Pastor? Do you think she was forced in the car and then they?
What 16-year-old girl convinces grown men? If these have been teenagers,
these are boyfriends.
These are grown men.
We don't know
6 girls are dating grown men now, so I don't know. That could have been her little boyfriend, his homeboy.
We don't know.
Hold on a second. Rewind. That's Pastor Big T candidate HD7.
I forgot I was talking to a politician. Please forgive me.
Big T running for HD7.
There you go. Go get that seat, brother. Go get that seat.
Well, look, what is James Coleman doing? Is he turned out?
No, he's running
for another seat.
I know he's running, but that doesn't mean he has to quit that one.
Yeah, if he goes up.
He's going to work in this next session, but the election is in 2020.
Right, so we have some time. You get it?
Speaking of new shootings.
New
shootings. 3 teens shot in Montebello. Crown and Andrews. Aurora kid was also shot and killed at Peoria and Alameda this week.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 4 shootings this 1 week. Now, oddly enough, this is the same week that Johnny McBride and the rest of the HBCU people took those 45 youngsters down.
Jason McBride.
Jason McBride. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I was talking about your own self.
I'm talking about Dad.
There we go, Dad. Rest in peace to his daddy.
But they took 45 youngsters down to four black colleges: Clark, Atlanta, Langston, Hughes. Boy, them kids. And Jason was on. He was on point every night. He was on talking about, oh my God, I had no idea black college was this much fun.
Yes, it is. Boom. And what I love is that a lot of students came back and we talked. I helped them with this tour. So And looking at it and talking to the students when they got back, there were students that before they went were not interested in going to college at all.
Right.
And their whole entire mind has been shifted.
Well,
so
it's
that's
all
the
right.
beautiful of it. And they were like, hey, like I never knew that this is an experience that I can get. And that's the point. If you guys don't know, sign your kids up now. We are already filled for the next trip in April, but we will be opening up the fall trip. Sign your kids up. Inbox Michelle. You can inbox myself or Tiffany. We have to get the students involved. Inbox Dr. Ryan Ross.
When they got off the bus, the drum line was standing there waiting for them.
And
that 5280 something, I can't remember what.
Yeah, Rise 5280.
And you go online and look it up.
Yeah.
That first episode, the drum line is on there. The kids were like, "Oh my God,
this experience our babies have to realize somebody can look like you, can go be educated around people like you, and you can have a great time.
And they will learn you.
They will learn. And guess what? They were not going to be
You learn somebody.
You learn
somebody.
You learn
That's that old school talk.
You learn them
That's
up.
that tongue talk. Is that what you're talking?
You learn them up.
Wait, no, you're bidwiz.
I'm telling you, learn them up. You
Whichever
learn them up.
Yes. So shout out to Rise 5280 for doing our students.
But there was a vigil last night for the there's a vigil for those shootings in Montbello and Aurora.
Now the kids in Montbello, I don't think were injured. I mean, they were injured, but not killed.
Nobody was killed.
But the reality is, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Early College, Vista Academy, and Green Valley Ranch on lockdown for 2 days.
2 days.
Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
They just opened up today just to let the kids come and get their stuff and go home.
Right.
Because of the Christmas break.
And that's the hard part of being locked up, because I was speaking with 3 of the teachers last night, and they were in lockdown, and they were like, it's a hard thing to be in lockdown all day and then watch the students start to create different lies and calling their parents and saying things. And they said what ends up happening is, like, a lot of students, that's how they find a way to get away and do other things when they're supposed to be on lockdown, because they're like, well, actually, Mom, they did this and that. There's a lot of things going back and forth. I think we just need way more of a presence out there at these schools. They need support. They need support in a lot of
Both schools received email gang threats.
Yes.
So the
they were going to shoot up the schools.
So the gangs
Anonymous.
But the gangs have got high tech. We're gonna email you from a library.
That's the next level.
From the library down the street.
They did it from the was it safe to tell?
Is that the thing? Is the
the confidential line?
Confidential line.
That's where it came
So DPS spokesguy Will Jones, he came out. He said in an email that police reported the threat and that they are investigating. And the tip did come from Safe to Tell, anonymous tip line, where young people can report crimes safely. But all I know is, man, put the guns down, young people.
Put the guns down.
Is that the solution, or is there a solution? What's going on? There was a visual, and we've seen visuals, and
there's too many visuals happening.
What can be done?
We have to get that's not being done.
The mayor said he's putting millions of dollars into trying to stop this. So I don't know.
But what is the trying to stop this? I think that's the question. Is how we're going to stop this? How we come together? And I think one of the biggest things is that I really urge that everybody comes together in the sense of, I've already been seeing a lot of bickering on why weren't we invited to the table for this? Why weren't we invited to the table for this? Why weren't we invited to the table for that? If you're about doing the work, show up where you think you are needed at. Show up where you feel like you can help, and show up where you feel like you can assist. Don't wait for people to invite you to a table you feel like you should be at. If you feel like you can go there and you can help stop the youth violence, then show up. But stop calling out people for not inviting you, whether it's Struggle Love doing their own thing, whether it's Rise doing their own thing, whatever's going on, y'all should show up together, and however that can be. And I feel like we have to, like Jason McBride, he's a very, very big advocate of, being in the gap for youth violence. But I think so many times we have all these different identities where we need to come together, and it needs to be a collective effort. So congratulations for everybody who has started to be more collective, but I think there's still a lot of things we can do if we collectively came together and had the conversation, especially when it's your lane. Like, show up when it's your lane. I know what my lane is. It's not necessarily my lane, but however we can support as media too, let us know, and we'd be more than happy to support.
In the summertime, when they had that rash of stuff right in August maybe.
Yeah, Heal the Hood.
Yeah, and they had the mayor come out, and Stacy came out, the city councilor out there, and all these people came out, and they were all standing around, and so the one brother with the he's got what is his name?
From Struggle of Love.
Struggle of Love.
And so he got
and
up.
they're doing a lot of
he got
Struggle
up.
Love just had a thing.
He got up and he spoke, and he said about we got to do something, and here's the family right here, the mom and the sister and everything, and he said, but before I go any further here, this is the mayor's out here. Let the mayor come up and talk. So the mayor got up there and talked. He said, well, I'm glad you invited me, and I'm out. And so he started to leave.
What?
I swear to God.
What are you saying, JB?
I'm just saying, he started to leave. And then I came up and said, well, wait a minute. We haven't heard from the mom and the sister here. They got something to say to you too, Mayor. And so they came up and they spoke. And then, it was like, well, my escort, they're in the car. They're ready to go. And then they brought up some more people to talk. And so I just, if you're going to, don't be disingenuous. If you're going to go and you're going to be there, you got to be there, and you got to talk to those families. You can't let those families just hear you pontificate for a second and then walk away. I don't get it.
And I think that's for obviously the mayor, but that's for everybody involved. Let's not show up for photo ops. Let's not show up to be seen. Let's not show up because it looks a certain way. But let's show up for these students who are in fear to even go to school, who are in fear to tell what's going on.
Can you imagine that?
I could not imagine every day being like, when Columbine happened, it was like a rarity. But I couldn't imagine every day being like, ooh, I hope nobody gets shot. I hope I can go to school. I don't know if we're going to be in lockdown. I couldn't imagine that at all. So we need to show up at these parent-teacher conferences. We need to show up when these teachers are asking for support. We need to show up in the gap in those areas, especially when you feel like this is your lane. Show up.
Big T, were you ever bullied in high school, middle school?
Big T been bullied? No.
I don't know what. So we grew up in a different era.
Where bullying is not what bullying is now.
You just fought.
Yeah.
So, but there was some people. So I was never a bully.
Right.
But when somebody pick on me, I had some folks pick on me.
Yeah.
Then we just solved it. Then we solved the problem.
So it's crazy. My nephew.
I had that one dude. Leroy Terry.
Yeah.
He's dead now. But he's dead now. But I tell you what.
So we don't know if it's true or not.
Right. So he might tell a fib right now. He's like, I beat up Leroy. Leroy done taxed him a couple times. I got Leroy.
No, he tapped my pocket. I said, man, don't be patting my pocket, man. This is my mama's bread money. I can't give you this money, man. I'll give you something else, but I can't give you this money.
And then you and Leroy went to blows?
No. It went on. This went on. Now, see, this went on. And then I caught him one day going into the, there's a little foyer outside the gym, and they always had that piano that they would roll in, and the piano bench was up on top of there. And there was a bunch of guys standing over there, and he was right in the middle. I took that piano bench, I threw it on everybody.
Hey. If you're that crazy one good time or beat up somebody one good time, that's it.
That's it. You're done.
Like, pick the biggest girl and beat her up and be done. Like,
you're done.
Okay, cool,
You're
it
done.
works.
And then
but
the rest of your time in school, don't mess with him.
Don't mess with him.
But now they carry guns.
But now they carry guns. And then the thing is, I'm really concerned about how the school handles things because for instance, my nephew came home a couple days ago and he's telling us, and he's only in second grade.
Oh, geez.
And he's telling us how, like, now this is his third fight in second grade, and he's super mild-mannered, like super just laid back and chill. Now the kids have been bullying him. My cousins have been going up to school. They're asking questions, but the school's like, I can't give you any answers really.
You can't do anything anymore.
And then they tell you too, like,
all they can do is get the police.
That's it. So then they ask, okay, well, what are the repercussions that this other student's getting? How did you talk to the student? What is the form of discipline? And the school said, I can't tell you how we discipline. And they're like, well, did you talk to the parents? I can't tell you if you talked to the parents. Well, what are you here for? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. When I come to school, we'll have it handled. Just don't worry, I got this.
We only need 5 donations. Shannon Hoffman.
Shout out to my girl, Shannon Hoffman. I appreciate
Shannon Hoffman and
that's my
Paris. And Bruce, cousin Bruce said he's going to donate today for accidentally putting you in the car
Bruce.
with
Chuck Bonnywell.
There we go. Shout out to Shannon Hoffman. She runs the early college program right at DPS. She's at the early college. She had her students come out and participate with the Vision Board Party. She's been a great supporter in getting them involved. And she's sending 3 students to the HBCU college tour. So,
Shannon Hoffman.
Shannon Hoffman. Keep doing excellence and really working with our black students and very proud of
I tell you what, I told you this before on the show, but look, going to a black college before I went to a white college, that was the absolute best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Because first of all, you go to a black college, it's like going to a little high school, and the teachers, when you don't show up for class, next time they see you, Miss Johnson, where you been?
They have questions.
They care. No,
they care.
And if I don't see you in class, the grade is going to suffer. So you already know right up front. And so bottom line is, when you got that kind of love in that college, your first couple of years of college, and then you transfer to a big old white school where you're not going to get that kind of personal. Man, I'm telling you, what you do learn there is the other half of life.
Yeah.
The other half of how to survive and integrate and whatever the word is. I'm not sure what the word is.
But it is to integrate because in the world where you're integrating in the work life and how to go, you're going to have to assimilate in some type of way and figure out how to. Yeah.
And so
I think it's great to give your kids some sort of balance. I think if I wouldn't have went to a conservatory for performing arts, the Black College was my next choice. Yeah. But I was super grateful. It's the same thing in the conservatory. They are on you. They're like, hey, and you don't want to disappoint because you know that someone is actually watching you and cares about who you are, if you're showing up and how you're showing up. And they would even tell me, like, you showed up today, but you didn't show up at your best. Yeah. And that was like, oh, God. And this
is real. I went to school before computers and before all that stuff. And before cell phones, they couldn't call you.
You was an abacus.
But what? Yeah.
You went to school with an abacus.
It's like, I went to school in the dinosaurs.
But I tell you what. Whatever they gave you.
Whatever they gave you.
You know,
they gave it to you right.
Whether it was mimeograph. Before Xerox,
and then it was chubby curls. Educating the natural hair one scalp at a time. If you have those skinny curls, make them chubby. Go to chubbycurls.com right now to make sure you get those natural hair looking right.
How does that smell?
Like chubby curls. Make sure you go there. And then guys with that stuff, make sure you keep it juiced out, especially during the holidays. Keep it juiced.
Shay, anybody propose? I mean, you were dating some individuals. You've been on.
Throw it out there.
No, we got to figure it out because everyone knows Shay J's getting married in 2020, and all of those would-be daters have been notified.
Yes.
I'm wondering if any one of them said, "Stop the press, Shay. We don't need to look any further."
We don't need to do that.
Sign me up.
Man, I need a real one like that. No, they're a little bit nervous. I think that. So we know we're doing 5 men.
Did you say they are a little bit nervous?
Well, we're doing 5. I have 5 to choose from.
It's a dating game.
It's a dating game.
5 to choose.
I get 5 to choose from. And we've actually, it's so beautiful. Like, there's been a lot of people reaching out left and right. It's kind of getting a little nerve-wracking because I'm nervous now. I'm really nervous. So like.
Well, we're getting ready to get your tickets to fly you to Nigeria because there's a Nigeria money bags. It's like I'm thinking I want to marry Shay.
They got some billionaires over there.
I don't know what's going on right now. So remember, I have my out of town suitor.
Yes.
He's one of the 5, and I think he did a great job in hosting my birthday this week and just really flying in and being a man of integrity.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate it. Thank you. He flew in and just was a great, solid guy. Brother Jeff is.
Have you met him?
So we're working it in. We're working it in. It's gonna be a part of the show, so you'll see that. But he's gonna be one of the suitors. And he did his first little interview process by coming in and just really doing great. And, it's good when a brother can come in, fly in, get his rental car, get his hotel, be situated, grab you, pick you up, and just have things in order. Like,
wait a minute.
I didn't have to do anything but just
Wait.
Set up DJ for my party. Make sure everything was good. Like, good.
Wait a minute.
Solid.
He flew in on his own ticket.
Come on.
Rented his car on his own credit card.
Absolutely.
Rented his hotel.
And it was a Hemi car, so he had good.
Rented his hotel on his own
hotel in
car.
Cherry Creek District, so it was a great hotel.
And she didn't have to do nothing.
Nothing. And then when I got nothing. And then when he came and got me, he had a bottle of champagne that I like, bottle of tequila. Not saying I drank both of those or anything. And just was was ready.
That I like.
I like
I said
that about champagne, but I didn't say that about tequila. See that? All right, politician Pastor Steve.
He better stand up before these plane tickets to Nigeria.
Yeah, because I heard a Mandingo. I said a Mandingo. I mean,
Mandingo warrior.
Wait a minute now.
I want a Mandingo.
Friday.
Speaking of love, Trump has no love for Pelosi.
Come on, let's say shout out to Nancy Pelosi for just going hard to find to this place. December 18th, you will remember for the rest of your life. 2019 was the day that President Trump unofficially was impeached.
All right.
It's unofficial.
There we go. Unofficially official.
It's not official.
They have many people.
No,
let's talk about first. We'll let you describe that. Give me 18 seconds and a half.
22.
So it was on 2 accounts. Account 1 was for abuse of power, which he got 230 votes. to the 197, and number 2 was obstruction of Congress, which was 129 votes to 198 votes. So on those 2 charges, he was convicted, but we know that there is a little bit of a process.
No, indicted.
And so now I know we have to talk about this too, because now I feel like we're getting a lot more young people tuning in and asking questions, and so some people started hitting me behind the scenes, and they're like, so when does he get out? When does he get out? Impeachment and removal are 2 total different things.
Well, first of all,
I'm still talking. It's not your turn yet.
Oh, you said 18 seconds.
And I'm not done. So with impeachment, when a president is impeached, he can still do his full term, and he can still go back for re-election. There's still another process with removal, and even once he's removed, say that the Senate can still come back and say, now let's talk about if he's able to run for another term ever again, for another seat ever again. So this is just, we're halfway through a process. This process is a long way, and this is just the beginning, but this is a great, I think, start.
Oh, yeah.
If followed up right, and I think Nancy Pelosi has put the ball in her court in a very smart way, and kind of is using a little bit of leverage. So go ahead, JB, since you want to talk so bad.
No, I'm just saying, he got indicted by the House, but it's not really an indictment until the Senate has their trial, and then he gets indicted.
Absolutely.
So he's indicted and waiting.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's true. I think you're indicted and then convicted.
No, it's
he's
not
already indicted.
It's not a trial. It's not a
criminal trial.
He's indicted in the House.
Has to be
impartial. That's a trial.
That's what I just
based
said.
on the indictment.
Based on the indictment. But the thing is, if the Senate doesn't have the charges, they can't do anything, first of all. So if you don't know, Nancy Pelosi is holding the thing right now. She's holding everything. She hasn't sent it up. Because she wants to make sure that this is a fair and favorable trial. Because what's happening, you have Mitch the bitch who's like, hey, I'm not going to comply. I'm not going to make sure that we have this favorable. I'm pretty much going to be Trump's bidding guy. I'm going to help him bid to get the best process. So Nancy Pelosi is like, before the Senate comes up and we give them all these articles so they know what they're, going to impeach him on, or, the next steps, we're going to make sure that this is a fair trial first. And so in putting those things in order, until Senate gets that, until Senate processes it, it's not an official impeachment in the terms of the way that the document.
Let me just add just a little clarity.
Okay.
Once they take the vote in the House,
right,
and the vote is to impeach, that impeachment is done. He's impeached, and like you said, the next step is the full impeachment. The full impeachment, which is there a case to be removed from office?
Is it a case to be removed?
And that happens in the Senate.
That's right.
And that happens in the Senate, which is why we've been holding on to
they can't do anything until she sends it to them. But the impeachment is done.
It stands, right.
The situation right now is that she's holding on to that paperwork.
Right.
And she's doing the right thing, because like you said, everybody, all of them have come down the pike saying, "This is a sham. We're not going. We don't even have to have the trial. We already know how we're voting."
Right.
So the bottom line is,
runs it all.
Bottom line is, right now she's holding this. This is like being indicted by a grand jury.
Right.
Once you're indicted by a grand jury, and the indictment is handed up to the judge, the judge can sit on that for as long as he wants.
Absolutely.
That's what she's doing right now. She's sitting on this, hoping that at some point, maybe, the closer they get to election, maybe some Republicans will say,
we'll turn.
You know what?
And maybe we'll get some more witnesses that'll hit the stand. Maybe we'll get some more evidence that will hit the stand.
The 7 people that Trump has not allowed to come and testify.
Yeah, that's who we need there. They'll come and testify. Maybe lawyers will be able to cross-examine. All those things can happen.
Maybe those 71 documents will show up. All that stuff that didn't come, that the Republicans said the Democrats didn't want to get out. They said, come and do it. Come and do it. And they said, no, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it.
Yep.
We're not going to do it.
And I think because the Senate has so much power, there's never been a real way to tell the Senate how to run a trial. So because they have that power and saying, well, we make the ultimate decision of how this all goes, Nancy has to play her card the smart way, because
she's holding that shit up.
I mean, she's smart with this. And if you think about it, I mean, they have the power. We know that they're on Trump's side. This has been shown. Now it has to be a way that she gets this bipartisan to come and change a little.
Well,
she has
to. Remember they said. This thing is going so slow. The Mueller investigation took 2.5 years. Blah blah blah. Now they come out. Well, let's do it faster. Let's do it faster. Well, now they try to do it faster, and they said, well, now let's slow down. Now what's going on? Now Nancy said, all right, you want to slow down?
Then this is how we're going to slow down. She's playing it smart, because if you look at it too, President Trump can appoint anybody in his council. So that's already a problem. The lawmakers, those serve as your prosecutors, or they call them managers, right?
He got Rudy. He don't need nobody else.
Yeah, the Chief Justice, Supreme Court, John Roberts, who'll preside over the trial. But then you have the senators who will act as jurors, and if they're on his side, then who cares? Because the ultimate jurors.
Hey man, I saw a picture of Rudy. They had his underwear on the outside of his pants, like he was a superhero. Had a cape on and shit. He was flying around. Rudy was just left the Ukraine, man.
Right.
They told you that they did it. Trump said, I did it. I did it, and I even asked China to jump in and do some more. Look, Putin right now, Putin put out a note yesterday.
What did he say?
I totally support my friend Donald Trump. What do you think he said?
What else could he say? And that's the thing is, I don't understand. When you take an oath and when you say that you were going to serve and protect, and you're going to be bipartisan, and there's going to be, this
how
level
of friend.
How does all these friends get to be in this place? Like, how does Mitch say, I'm not going to cooperate, I'm pretty much going to be by his side, so do what you want to do? Oh, well, how are these people allowed to say these things, and where does that come into play, where there has to be some type of law that prevents this from happening?
The man is a crook. The man is a con man. First of all, the man is a con man. Everything he says is a lie. He don't know what he says from day to day. He was all red-faced the other night. I thought he was going to blow up. And what did he say the other night? Representative Dingell from Michigan. Oh. The man was a 90-some years old. He served in World War II. Longest-serving guy in the House. And what does Trump say about him at a rally in Michigan?
Right.
He comes out on the stage and said, well, and Dingell's wife took the job, and now she's in the Congress. So Trump says, well, I don't know if he's looking down on us. He's probably looking up at us, like the man is in hell.
Right. Like, come on.
This man has no couth. He has no compassion. He has no heart.
And when he got up there, he was talking, he's like, I don't feel like I've been impeached. It feels good. And then if you don't, I don't know if you recall, back then when he was talking about Obama being impeached, he had this whole thing like, this has to be if he ever gets impeached, it would be so embarrassing. It would be heart-wrenching.
But it was you.
But now it's you, bruh. And you don't feel like that. And you haven't said anything. He's like, I don't feel like I've been impeached. I don't feel like anything.
He feels
because he has everybody on his side. He's a dirty dog playing a dirty way. But you know what? If you lay down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. So keep on playing if y'all want to. Keep on going.
Hey, this man is going. Pelosi's going to drive him crazy. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
But the Republicans are ready for war, so Pelosi and the Democrats have got to go hard. Like, this cannot be a sit down and go. Because the Republicans are ready for war. They're ready.
But I think. Hang on for a second. Okay. Now, I will say this. I guess I got two things on Wyoming. The first thing is this week in Wyoming.
What?
Where the two kids dressed up like Ku Klux Klansmen and came to school.
I say what?
There's only 50 blacks in Wyoming. Let me just start there. Let me start there. Let me start there. I worked there. I worked there one summer at Teton National Park.
Oh no.
And the guy came up to us, and this is Afro days, man. The dude looked at us, and another brother from southern down in Louisiana, Murphy Jones. And we're standing there, and he looked at us. He said, well, y'all took the population up here. I said, what you talking about? He said, well, you're 51 and he's 52. I said, 51 and 52 what? He said, black people in the state.
He was counting. Horrible.
Wow.
I said, well, this is going to be a long summer. I can tell that right now.
They're going to school in Ku Klux Klan outfits.
And Ku Klux Klan. This is what we're doing now?
Ku Klux Klan outfits.
Is that their uniform?
They got sent home, thank God. But
sent home, a little slap in the wrist.
I'm just like, I don't even know anymore, man. I don't even know. But I will say this, they got 53 now, because Kanye bought a big old spread up there in Wyoming. He bought a big ranch outside of Cody, Wyoming.
What is he gonna do with that?
Live there.
Is he really?
Yeah, Kanye.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is, and he put in an application already to build an amphitheater so he hold concerts up there.
That's
now
smart.
some of the
there's nothing over there.
I know.
And we would drive. People from here would drive there.
You got 500 acres.
Yeah.
1,000 acres. It ain't like you got a neighbor like right here.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So now he took that to the county commissioners and said, I want to get this amphitheater built and everything. And they said, whoa. We got to talk about this for a while.
They were going to love it. It's going to bring so much money to them. Of course they're going to do it.
Well, they said no initially. They said no initially. But I'll bet you.
Kanye got just as much money. He's good. You don't need Jay-Z for that.
You don't need Jay-Z.
Not at all. And Kim Kardashian, how much money she got?
They got money. They don't do nothing.
That part.
They don't do nothing.
They don't do nothing.
All they do is go on the internet.
They do something, but
that's true. But I'm telling you,
this takes a lot
to me, there was. Now, Jeff, you'll appreciate this.
Willie?
Yeah.
Let me hear it. I'll tell you if you'll appreciate it.
Chickens coming home to roost.
Okay, I like this already.
You know what we're talking about?
No,
She don't know.
I don't.
Go ahead, Jeff. Tell
This sounds like some old people talk.
So no, this
Go
is
ahead,
old
let me
people.
hear it.
This is Malcolm X talk.
Okay, let me hear it.
When Malcolm X came back from his Hajj in the Middle East, he came back. He talked about. He said, "Well, Elijah, Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad, you talking about only black people and Muslims and Islam and this and that." And he said he went over there. He saw yellow, red, blue, pink, green, every color. People doing their Muslim religion and everything else. So he came back blue black. You know blue black. It didn't matter. You're getting off point. What I'm saying is when Malcolm came back and said that, and it was like, chickens coming home to roost. So editorial published by Christianity Today. Now this is the magazine that Billy Graham, Reverend Billy Graham, came up with.
Okay.
This is his magazine. He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. But the editor says, we are now calling for the removal of President Trump from office, deeming him grossly immoral. We've reserved right on judgment for years now, but we can't reserve it anymore. To use an old cliche, it's time to call a spade a spade.
Call a spade a spade.
To that, no matter how many hands we win in this political poker game, we are playing with a stacked deck of gross immorality and ethical incompetency.
Wow.
Now
that's where I'm going. Chickens coming home to roost.
Right. There you go.
You have Christian Times, and you also have now a faction of Republicans who've now come out publicly to ask for his removal as well.
And that's necessary. That part is necessary.
So when them chickens come home to roost.
And it was the crazy thing is when you see these Republicans and they were, doing this, they were talking about this process is like Jesus going through and Jesus was like, are you insane?
They said Jesus had a better defense than we're getting
right now for Trump. And I was like, these people cannot be serious. And they are.
First of all, Jesus is a story.
Right.
We're living true life.
We are seeing what Trump is doing right now. You know about Jesus? Jesus. I first met God when I was walking down the street. Okay.
19.
So what is
JB, you better be careful. It's holiday time.
Yeah, I don't want it to be crazy either. I don't want it to be crazy. JB, will the Senate acquit?
We about to have World War III.
I was eating a tuna fish sandwich.
He's out of control. I'm sorry. If you haven't looked right now, we just need 5 more donations a day. 5 more donations. Go to brotherjeff.com before we get trigger somebody else. 5 donations a day, please, to keep this powered by the people and keep you getting the right news at the right time. Now, is the Senate going to acquit or convict Trump? What's going to happen?
No. Trump is. Look.
Tell me.
Did you watch the debate last night?
No, I didn't see it last night.
Okay, there were 7 people last night on the debate stage.
Okay.
And you like Buttigieg still?
I did. He fired them up. Boy, they tried to jump on him, man. They all of them know he's in the lead in Iowa and New Hampshire. They all know he's in the lead. So everybody was like this. He was right there, and they were in his.
They were taking all the incoming.
They were in his ass, Mr. Postman. I'm just telling you. Hey, look here. Look here.
Happy Friday!
First of all, Elizabeth Warren jumped on him.
And that's my girl.
That's my girl.
That's my girl right there.
That's like Trump said. That's my black man right there.
I like Elizabeth.
That's my Negro right there.
Well, who else was supposed to go with?
It was another lady. What's her name?
You like a
Klobuchar did second best.
She's the police.
Klobuchar did.
Klobuchar is president.
Klobuchar
President and should not even be accounted.
There you go. President shouldn't be accounted.
Last night, I'm just talking about last night.
Right.
Last night, Klobuchar came out number 2.
Okay.
Who was number 1?
Buttigieg. He fought him off. He was like the shield. He had the shield up. Boom, boom, boom.
But they did say that Biden made a good showing.
They said,
look,
Biden has been doing.
That.
Wait,
that came from my feet. They said Biden did good.
I know. Biden has been doing this good for so long that if he does this good, he's doing better.
Okay.
Oh,
so don't get caught
Biden
up.
is still the front runner. Period.
No.
Let's be clear.
Front runner for who?
Let's be clear. Hold on.
Well,
Brother Jeff. I'm not saying what I think. I'm just telling you what the numbers say.
this politician knows his numbers. Go ahead,
Buttigieg is ahead of him in Iowa.
In Iowa.
In North
No, he's ahead of Iowa and Connecticut.
And New
But overall polls,
That's right.
he's still
He the
number
man.
one.
Biden's
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know Buttigieg is your guy.
And Biden,
But you can't. Facts don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't
Except
lie.
when Trump beats Hillary.
no, they lie.
Okay, numbers can lie.
Brother Jeff,
The numbers
those
lie. The
numbers
people
don't
lie. The people excuse them.
Those
The
numbers
numbers
didn't lie either.
But the people lie.
No,
And they move things in the favor.
Here's what the numbers say. Here's what the numbers
Order
say.
the court.
Here's what. Okay, Whoopi. Here's what the numbers say. Because Whoopi jumped in.
Look here, girl. You gonna shut up today? Okay.
She tuned them up.
Today, Megan, we don't have any time for you today.
She said, "Well, I'm not going
She
to
said,
talk.
girl,
I'm not going to say nothing the rest of the show, and
This
that'll
sounds
be
good to
okay
me.
too."
This sounds great to me.
But look
Shout out
here.
to my girl Whoopi.
Here's the numbers. Here's the numbers. They say.
Oh, y'all
Here's
know
what they say. The numbers are 48% to 48%. It's a tie. It's not a tie because those numbers are only registered voters in the Democrat or Republican Party. Those are not independents. Those are not anybody else that doesn't vote with the ticket. So when they say 48 and 48, don't get confused and think that's true via tie. And when they say Biden is ahead, Biden can't remember his last name most days. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You watch. You, look, okay. Hang on. When Biden, they want Biden to be the front runner because they know Trump will squash him like a little
But he
potato.
is the front runner.
Right now, Trump will squash everybody up there.
Who?
Right now, Trump will squash almost everybody up there.
Hey, look. Oh, girl, Hillary. If Hillary, when
She's not in the race. Old girl Hillary. Like,
Trump,
put some respect on her name.
I did. When Trump walked behind her, like he was, getting ready to jump on her or something, if she had just had the tenacity to stand up and say, turn
You see that in jail all the time when they lurk up behind, shank them.
If she'd have stood up and said, "You better sit your ass down while I'm talking," if she'd have went sister girl, if she would have went sister girl, she'd have been president right now. But she let him walk back and forth.
She can't be who she ain't.
Well, say it again,
There
Gerald.
you go, Gerald.
Shut up, Gerald. In the back.
Y'all won't give. Here's why they're gonna lose.
Why? Who's going to lose? The
Democrats are going to lose.
You're just saying like that? You're not
Let me rephrase.
You
just made a joke.
Yes, I made a joke. He was making a joke. But let me just rephrase. He was making a joke. Here's why they'll have problems.
Let me hear it.
Hillary, we have to go back to the last.
She may come back in the race.
Hillary had the perfect strategy to win the popular vote.
Absolutely.
And she won it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
His camp, not him.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Right.
Not him.
Right.
His camp had a strategy to win
the electoral
college.
Right.
That's true.
And guess what? He won it.
Yeah.
Ty went to the runner.
Yeah.
He won it.
That's real.
And that's how the system works.
Yeah.
And if the Democrats do not
Where's our
play
plan at?
the system, if they ain't playing that,
one or the other, wherever it's at.
That's right. They ain't playing the electoral
Absolutely.
college. If they're not out there with a GLTV strategy and campaign to work in that electoral college area, winning back those states that they ignored. She ignored Wisconsin.
Everybody.
She ignored Michigan.
Ohio.
She ignored
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And it came back to bite them.
Where's the plan at, Democrats? We've got to get a solid plan in play.
Okay.
Because
They
the
got
risk
a play.
is too
It's
high.
Warren Biden. It's going to be
Warren Biden?
No. Warren and
Buffett.
Buttigieg?
The lady that left.
Harris.
Kamala, lock him up.
It's going to be Biden.
Bernie. Warren and Bernie.
Warren and Sanders?
Yes.
If Biden gets it,
We gonna
it'll be
straight to the
Biden and
left.
Kamala.
Yeah.
If Biden gets it, it'll be Biden and Kamala. If Warren gets it, it'll be Warren. Warren and Yang.
Police.
It'll be Warren and Yang.
Warren and Yang.
That's a guaranteed loss.
Or Warren and
Yang is a guaranteed loss.
Buttigieg. Or Warren and Buttigieg. If Buttigieg is the winner,
I think
it'll be Buttigieg and Klobuchar.
He's the police too.
No, but
Oh,
I will say this. Klobuchar handled herself last night. If you get a chance to watch the replay, she handled herself. Because they came at her just like they came at Buttigieg.
You know, I met her over here just last week.
How was that?
She was good.
And you know who else did well? The guy that was sitting right here.
Tom
Steyer.
Hey, look, he did okay, but he doesn't get enough time, and he
does not. He doesn't get enough FaceTime. He doesn't get enough playtime. And you would think with all that money, he would get a lot more. You know, he does not. He's not at the forefront where how he should be.
Bloomberg gets time.
If Bloomberg had been there last night,
he would have murdered.
He would have shook all of them up. Because Bloomberg is tough. I know the stops and the frisk and the shattered windows and all that stuff that he got going on in New York. But I tell you what, he cleaned up that damn city.
I think that's what the party's dependent on.
Is Bloomberg to come through and grab that?
Hillary is talking about coming back.
She's not coming back.
Now, if Hillary comes back,
she was zombie?
I'm going to join the Green Party and jump in.
Not the Green
Party.
I'm going to join that Unity Party.
If she comes back in the race,
you know that
she messes everything up.
She can't come back.
No, with the Unity ticket out here.
She can do anything she wants.
Yes, she can, but that would be so wrong.
Hey, look, the way
I have a question.
The way Obama won the presidency that first time, he had those 23-year-old millennial kids in Chicago in his office. I went in there one time. I thought I was in the wrong place because it was all white folks, and that was okay. Because those white kids, you know what they did?
What did they do?
They said nobody plays the caucus states. The caucus, we used to have a caucus. We voted out of it this year, but we had a caucus. And you remember about when Obama, was it the first term or second term for Obama, that the lines were around the block.
You know, you got his button on today.
Whose button you got on today? Oh, all right. Good job.
My boy. That's my boy.
That's homie.
You know where he was over the weekend?
Where, Chicago?
No. While Trump was doing all this stuff with the Congress and the Senate and all that, he was in Hawaii playing golf.
I know that's right. I love it. He's like, now how does he feel to be impeached?
Golf and he had on shorts and a t-shirt.
See,
you don't never see Trump.
You
don't never see Trump. He's such a
no. CNN just sent an alert right now. Dim's own witness says Trump's not truly impeached unless articles go to Senate.
Thank you.
You know, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going back and forth until Nancy gets to go to the Senate. And it's going to be all these things. But I think that we've reached a level, and we're about halfway through a process. But it is a process.
I think the longer
removal has to happen. The Senate needs to decide if they're going to convict or quit. What's going to happen? But Nancy, I think you're playing the cards right, but use it as leverage because we need to see those documents. We need some more key witnesses, and we need to make sure that lawyers can cross-examine whoever's on the stand. But Trump is like, hey, bring everybody for it. Trump wants all the witnesses, but his party knows it's not a smart idea.
The longer she holds that paper,
leverage.
Absolutely.
He would like
Trump
immediately.
The more Trump will start to turn red.
Oh yeah.
The blood will start boiling in that boy, and I'm telling you, he'll do something so asinine that he will walk himself right out of it. See, when this happened with Nixon, when this happened with Nixon, the Republicans, the Democrats walked out and walked down the block, just like when Clinton was getting impeached. They walked down the block to 1600 Pennsylvania. And they said, look, man, you got to do something, man.
Yeah.
This man got to go, man, or we're all going to lose our jobs. That's what's going to happen.
And I hope they realize that. So I think she needs to hold on and do this because Trump would love to have an expedient acquittal and be done.
Yeah.
That's what he would love. But Nancy, hold that power. Democrats, you got to use your power.
Just hold on.
Use it. You can do this.
Because right now we got a break. They're gone from Washington now. So they'll be gone until January
8th or something. Yeah, about January 8th.
So hold on. By then, with all the news people that have been covering this every day, and they're not going to have shit else to say.
Exactly.
They're going to be saying news for a minute. They're going to be saying shit anyway. Right. They're going to be saying stuff, and they'll be saying stuff, and they'll be saying stuff, and Trump will be sitting there tweeting at 3 a.m. on the toilet.
Right.
He'll go.
That's what he's been doing. Just tweeting and tweeting and more tweeting.
He did 130 tweets on Saturday.
Who does that?
How can
this man's insane. Like
teenage girl.
My thing is, I don't have that type of time, sir.
Oh wait.
How do you have that type of time?
He thinks he's a teenage girl because he couldn't beat Thunberg. She got the Time Person of the Year. Trump was so mad.
Yeah.
He's
like
such
a little girl, just so upset.
He put his own picture on her body.
This man is out of control.
He put his picture on Rocky. On Rocky body. I was like, what is wrong with this man?
Ridiculous. But you out right here in Colorado, that's national news. But those of you that are looking for businesses looking on how to get your business more equitable, looking for the support, looking for what's going on and how you can be a part of the small business community out here, how you can move things forward, you need to be at Black Dollar Saturday on tomorrow. It's going down with District 9 in the house. Kathy Sigabaka and team, the minority business office will be there as well. Adrena Gibson and her team. And I think it's extremely important, those of us that are out there in business, entrepreneurs, small business owners, or even looking to get into that field, you need to be present tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Brother Jeff Cultural Center for our Black Dollar Saturday. It's time to have the conversation. One thing I know is if you're not present for the conversation, you cannot be mad when you're left out of the conversation and things and ways of moving. So I expect you to be there, and Candy's coming with some real facts, some things. She has really reached out to different people and figure out what's going on. So
Candy's got
it's important.
Candy's having her open house
because tonight she has her open
house for Candy tonight.
Yeah.
69, 6 to 8, I think.
6 to 8.
And so yeah, so she's
busy.
Look, she did those numbers. Her and am I saying it right, Lisa Calderon?
Dr. Lisa Calderon.
Dr.
Lisa Calderon. They did the numbers on the budget.
Uh-huh.
Did you see what the guy? He's a marketing guy and a communications guy working in the mayor's office of economic development. You know how much this fool makes?
Too much.
$143,000 a year. We're not that kind of city, are we?
Yeah, you are. You're world class.
Ooh.
Well, my income.
Well, I need some of that to drill down to my community and my people. Just trickle on down here.
Wait a minute, how
trickle
much
on down here. Because I know people doing a lot more for a lot less. So let it trickle down here. But make sure you trickle down to the Brother Jeff Cultural Center tomorrow at 2 p.m. so we can have the conversation. You can be a part of the conversation. You can get some much needed information. Community, we want to see you there tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Oh, and I did bring this. This is my movie script for the Tulsa race ride.
So if you want to audition for his movie, let him know he's taking an audition.
No, I'm not taking an audition.
Or not.
I want a producer to come and say, let's make this movie.
I know that's right. Producers, go ahead and reach out to my guy, John Bowman. He got some juice for you. And remember, community, if you go down...
Wait.
What?
Wait, we got good
People's pickles.
We got Janelle Farrell.
That's your last one. Go ahead.
Journey Farrell.
In Denver.
She used to play volleyball for TJ. Been playing since she was 6 years old. She now plays at Howard. They had a big tournament that was coming up. She skipped the tournament for Howard because she's also on one of those donation for life kind of deals.
Okay.
And she's a donor. And so somebody came up, 57-year-old woman, needed one of her kidneys. She went and gave the kidney instead of going to the tournament. I'm just saying, shout out to Journey.
They're so beautiful, doing beautiful things.
And her mother and father were so taken by it, they both got on the donor program.
I love it. The community, there's beautiful people doing beautiful things. Happy holidays to each and every one of you. Remember, if you go down swinging. You might score a knockout. Rumble on, community. Rumble on.
All right.